So I had an interesting week. I decided for the first time, pretty much as long as I can remember, that I took the week off. And I didn't take the week off to go on a vacation. It was the opposite of a vacation. It was actually much harder than working. And I mean, I don't consider it work. I have always enjoyed the market, so it's kind of playing a game or a hobby in a way. But everyone who does, I mean, maybe not everyone, but a lot of you understand that completely. But I took a week off, and I have a pregnant wife in the third trimester, so she's heavier and cumbersome, needs to sleep more, needs more help, things like that. And I have a toddler who's 22 months old, 21 months old, something like that. So when I take a week off, it's just I'm going to go full bore into more childcare stuff and cleaning, cooking, doing things around the house, and then having a little time when they take a nap. So that's kind of the context of the week. And I actually enjoyed all that. I mean, that's not what I'm going to be getting at here, but what I'm getting at is what I went through was surprising. So last week on Saturday or Sunday, I felt fine. I was just kind of like, okay, well, I have a coach I've hired, and I have all these, people that are smart people telling me I need to take more of a brain break sometimes. It's just a good thing to do, kind of like the stress relax cycle that you have when you're weightlifting or whatever you're doing. And I don't really, that's my kid in the background, apologies for that. And I don't really do that enough. So I decided to try it for a week. And it's honestly, what I went through this week was hard for me even to imagine. It started on Monday. I started to get feelings of apathy and depressiveness, and it just went all week long. And I started to get a little bit better on Friday afternoon, and today's Saturday, and I'm, I would say, improving. But I wanted to take naps. I wanted to hide from things. I just felt flat out depressed for the week, honestly. And it was kind of unexpected. And I started to have thoughts as what am I and what the hell is going on here if I'm not getting up every day to do this? So I just took that big thing out of my life that occupied so much time and energy that I've done for so long, that I've identified with way more than I think I ever realized. And it's damn scary when that gets taken away, or when you choose to get away from it and you just kind of start numbing out. And I also didn't use my phone all week. I use it a few times, but not much. So I cut all my distractions out and just totally cold turkeyed myself. And it just, I did some exercise, but it was just I kind of felt like I was a zombie a little bit. And I'm just saying this right now because I don't know how many people have tried this, or you could also have a different experience where you come back really charged up. And I mean, sometimes you're going to have that, but just depending on where you are in your life and what's going on around you and how long you've been doing it and how burned out you are, all this stuff. And this wasn't a performance thing for me. I mean, my performance is fine. I mean, the last couple months, I haven't really done a ton of positive stuff, but I haven't done a lot of negative stuff either. I've made a little bit of money, so it wasn't an issue with I've gotten crushed and I'm depressed about that, which can happen if you get crushed pretty bad or you repeat the same mistakes. So it wasn't that. And I just wanted to share two things that popped out that you're going to say, oh yeah, well, everyone knows that, or you can read that in a book. And there's something different about feeling something. That's like when you play golf or tennis, you have to feel the changes, not just intellectually understand them. It's kind of like reading this deep spiritual stuff and feeling it and getting it, or just reading it and saying, oh yeah, that sounds real smart. I get that. So what I felt this week, the two things are the desire when I do start going back into my work again, the desire to do strategies that have compounding effects. Everything like compound interest is so powerful. You always hear Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger talk about compound interest. And in the spiritual realm, compounding is really important too, where you have, you do something good for somebody, or you make an act of kindness or a gesture, and there's a ripple effect. Kind of like when you skip a rock in the water, you can see it just keeps rippling, and there's a very real compounding effect to that. And with my trading, there's strategies, certain things I can move towards that have a compounding effect, where they grow, the money works for you, there's more leverage. There's a skill set that has compounding growth versus going in and grabbing my meal for the day and then going home and then having to get ready to go fish the next day. There's a different kind of trading, which sometimes you have to do that, and that's fine. I've done that for a long time. I don't have to do that anymore, and that's not this. I'll still do that sometimes when There's lots of big fish. I've talked about this before, but it really kind of hammered home the desire to move that way even more. I felt it at a deep level. Like, why do it if I'm not going to do it that way? So I'm working on that already, but, and that also, I'm working on my tennis game too. I'm taking lessons and developing it more. And there's principles that apply there too with stuff to really move that way. So that one was big. Like, everything does have a compounding effect. And that's not to say you can't do things for the love of doing them. That's not what I mean. Of course you can still do things for the love of doing them, but it's more of a bigger picture view on like how the days are structured, thinking a little bit longer term here. The second one is the effects of the rest stress cycle. Meaning that the way we grow is we stress and then we relax and we grow stronger, like our muscles, right? We stress them. And then a lot of times what I've been guilty of is stress, and then no relax, tired, beat up all the time, working out 7 days a week, going hard all the time, no brain break, no rest. Better when I'm getting older, better as I've gotten older, but a little bit of coffee break here, a little bit of an issue, a little bit less of an issue now than it was, but really felt the effects of that. So I have a knee injury I'm trying to rehab, and I have to strengthen a certain muscle because my kneecap's a little bit out of alignment for whatever the hell reason happened. And this muscle atrophied. It's really hard to strengthen. It's been like a pain in the ass. I can't get this thing to strengthen. So I've been going out like 7 days a week working exercises. Well, this week, since I felt kind of depressive and just zombied out from what I explained to you, I was just like, I'm not doing these fucking exercises today. I'm going to do them tomorrow. And then the next day would come. I don't want to do them. So I'd do them the third day. Then I would go at them pretty hard and I would do them really hard the third day. And lo and behold, I'd notice like, wow, they're actually working more. I'm getting stronger because in a way, I helped myself by not doing it every day. And you could be like, well, yeah, no shit, buddy. I mean, everyone knows this. But I felt it. I really felt that there's something to this. There's really something to going hard and having that focus and then just dropping it. And that's why Ernest Hemingway used to, write that deep thought before bed and then leave it half finished and go at it the next day and not just pound it into the ground. Or it just, I don't even know, maybe that's not super applicable to this, but it's just thinking about how you've got to plan time to get away each quarter, I think, something different. So I'm working on that, getting away for at least a few days each quarter. More reading, more silent time with no phone, all that stuff. Like actually doing that, it's hard doing it for a couple days in the middle of nowhere, especially when you're struggling a little bit, or even when you're not, even when you're doing well, or when you think you've had a good run and the opportunity maybe dries up, or just that life calls and you have to take a break, or there's people in town, you're apt to get distracted, whatever it is, like your work is dialing up and you're part-time trading, and you take that time off and you do come back with a different set of eyes and like this hunger and this freshness, and you have to schedule that in if you really want to get good at this stuff. And it's the same thing with your working out. You go really hard to a different gear. I was doing it. I did more pull-ups. I went harder on a biking exercise I was doing. I could do more everything because I was resting, kind of out of just self-loathing this week, honestly. And it worked. And it's like, wow, I got stronger and everything just bounced back well. And I feel like I'm being lazy, but I'm actually being smart. And I've gone through this before, but those are the two things. So it's that cycle of how important it is to stress and relax everything, your brain, your muscles, everything. Relationships, even with people, all of it. Need time away, time together. You're the same person in the house every day. People stay too long and it's like, holy crap, I need a break. It's no offense to anybody. I just need a break. And it's the same thing. Like that's why we have like the ebbing and flowing of things, and it goes really well and everyone enjoys that. And then you need some time to yourself. So those are the two things, the compounding and the stress relax cycle that stood out this week. I think there's a third one that I forgot, and I'll come back later if I have it. But yeah, so that's what I'm going through right now. And I don't know how I'll feel on Monday. We'll see. And then I'll work my way back into things when I feel ready to. So good luck out there.